We're here at Spikes with the wonderful Tony Hertz, who is a sound man, a voice man, an ad man, a radio man. We're talking about the Acoustic Nightmare, which is this conference hall. You've just come off stage. How was it? What were you talking about?
I was talking about. My talk was called "Making Waves: The Neglected Element of Brand Communication," which of course is sound. And my premise and the reality is that all of the attention is given to the visual aspect. Everything we see around us here has been thought about, has been considered, has been crafted by people who are really, really in command of their visual craft. Whereas almost everything we hear is kind of an accident.
It's like an afterthought.
or it's an afterthought, or it's incongruent. In other words, it's not going in the same direction as the brand. And a lot of it has been produced with less skill and attention, and that includes environments, it includes telephone sound, it includes web sound, and one of the examples I gave, just as an environmental sound. I went in the mall here, very, very upmarket, expensive mall. I went into a worldwide brand store to give myself a little treat. And this is a very, very expensive brand thing. And there was music playing, which was kind of hard rock, heavy. And I thought, this is somehow not congruent with this brand. But it's a brand that's known all over the world. And I said to the girl behind the counter, who chooses the music? I ask this question a lot.
Yes, sure.
And more often than not, they say it comes from headquarters or the management or something like that. And she said, I do. And I said, do you think it sounds chocolatey?
So people need to think a little bit more about what they're playing and music in general,
in their
what
brand,
we're listening to, and how it fits with
their brand. With
the brand. It's interesting. I heard Harish Manwani, who's the big Unilever boss and who sits in Singapore, talking about with all the technological advancements, we're losing sight of mediums like maybe the mobile phone and radio for marketing because we're looking for the next thing again.
It's interesting that you should say that, because on the last 3 talks, I didn't do it today because it just wasn't appropriate. But the last time I did this talk specifically on radio, I said, for the past 2 days you've been listening to watching all of these people who are teaching you how to run faster. I'm going to talk about walking. Teach you how to walk, because radio is one of the oldest mediums, and it is a basic, fundamental human communication thing. And if you can write for radio, you can write for anything, because it is so human.
Sorry, Tony, what are the tricks for writing for? What are some of the great radio ads that you're hearing just now?
Well, rather than talking about the specific radio ads that I'm hearing right now, because that you probably end up editing this out. I'm not an encyclopedia of great ads that I'm hearing, but I can tell you what makes it. I can tell you what makes it. Yeah.
Please do.
See, because, and I will plug my book.
Fabulous.
The 7 Secrets of Creative Radio Advertising, which I've just
available in all good bookstores
and Amazon, and about to be an ebook as well.
More importantly, Amazon.
Yes, and the 7 secrets, most of which are not secrets, but the first one of the secrets, and the answer to your question is that radio is the most emotional medium, because sound is the most emotional of our senses. And as I pointed out, I don't know whether you saw it, it's the first sense that develops. The whole human mother-child bond begins before sound, before anything else with sound. And therefore, radio is an emotional medium. McLuhan said it in the 60s. Radio is a hot medium, television is a cold medium, and that's because radio has the possibility, when done well, of emotional engagement more than anything else. The new media, the visual media, the texting, the instant messaging, all that kind of thing, are quick and interesting, but they're less emotionally connected.
Vacuous, maybe.
I don't want to insult them, because people, but they're not. They're so fast that they simply give you something to look at, but they don't engage, they don't connect in the same way. So the first thing to think about when you're writing a radio commercial is, how can I connect emotionally with the person that I'm talking to, who, by the way, is listening one person at a time. So you're talking to an individual, you're talking to one, and it surprises and doesn't surprise me, it disappoints me that most radio commercials that I hear sound as though they're meant to be played on a pole in the middle of a square to 300 people, rather than, if you're sitting, if you're driving a car, your car radio is no further away than you and I are.
Sure.
You're talking to me in a nice tone of voice, I'm talking to you in a nice tone of voice. Why would I yell at you? Why would I say, hey, Paul, you can get 30% off? It's emotionally counterproductive, and yet it's done as a kind of habit. So that's the first one. And if you get that part, you then have an opportunity to allow people to engage by using their innate visual sense, because that's the most wonderful thing about radio creatively, is the pictures.
So beautiful. Radio's still very cool, and we should be using it more, and we should be
doing it better
and introducing it to our clients as a way to get their message across.
The first thing we've got to do is start to teach our creative people how to do it, because you cannot introduce it to clients. The reason that it's not good now, the reason that the level of entries is so low in all of the major competitions, is that the agencies are not proud of the work that they're doing, and that really stems from the fact that they don't have a lot of confidence in the work that they're doing.
That's great stuff, Tony. Welcome to Singapore. Thank you for talking to us, and we'll see you next time you're in town.